Thank you so much. And joining me now, New York trial attorney Nicole Brenecki, alongside Newsmax correspondent Christina Thompson. Nicole, I'm going to start with you here from a legal standpoint. Not wanting to go to jury trial, I see that particularly during a very delicate merger, that would be something that Redstone would want to do, and that's what she stated. What else do you see at play here?
Well, Katrina, settlements are always about being pragmatic because no matter how you feel about the underlying dispute, whether it's justified or not, number one is the cost and the time that you have to spend in order to defend that. And it's not just the cost of the attorney, and the attorneys are always going to go after you for money if they know that you have money. So that's going to be relentless in terms of cost. But then you also have the time that your employees have to spend discussing the settlement. There's just a big amount of loss. And I think that in her case, it was a pragmatic decision. It was a business decision. It was nothing to do with the underlying dispute. And people can say that there was the element of admission of no wrongdoing, but that is practically a part of every settlement. I can tell you that as a litigator.
Yeah, and Christina, what I thought was particularly interesting, and exactly what Nicole said made sense to me there from a corporate standpoint, but when you did hear the concerns about Redstone and her son saying, well, she was worried about what Scott Pelley said about President Joe Biden, and then that giving access to more of CBS's behind-the-scenes emails and video could prove to be dangerous. So again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they did something wrong, but it certainly doesn't make it look like they did nothing.
I mean, from a journalistic integrity standpoint, what they did with that interview was terrible. You should not do that as a journalist. That is part of the reason why America no longer trusts legacy media, is editing like that. It is so dishonest, and it's very dangerous and very slippery slope. With that being said, Katrina, you're absolutely right. She was probably, for lack of a better word, over it at this point. I know she was going through some health problems at the time. To her, it probably just, didn't seem worth it. She achieved this dream that she had had for her entire life, basically taking over her father's company. And I think that she realized it just wasn't all it was chalked up to be, that she really didn't want to do it anymore, and it was taking a toll on her health, and she didn't want to drag her family through the mud even more.
Yeah, Nicole, moving forward, we know that President Trump is very serious about these media companies portraying things unfairly, or more so inaccurately. This is something he does not shy away from. Do you think the precedents we have seen from a legal standpoint will change how some of these big media outlets and corporations handle themselves moving forward?
So solely from a legal standpoint, a settlement is not really a precedent, because you have to come to a verdict or a court decision for it to become a precedent. But it can become a precedent.
Yeah,
it can become a precedent for other companies to look at what happened with this company and why they settled and what was the rationale behind it. So we had previous settlements with the Trump administration of the same nature, and it set a tone and set a playbook for future actions of the same fact patterns. And I think that's what may happen here as well, because he's also relentless in pursuing his goals, and we probably will see more situations with the media of that nature.
Christina, just about out of time, but final thoughts. Do you think on the flip side, this will change how any of these legacy media outlets pursue journalism?
I would hope, but short answer, no.
No. All right.
I think they're going to keep doing the same.
Being realistic.
Doing their thing. Yeah. All right. Nicole and Christina, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Great chat on The Other View.